Of the debate that's going on?
Well, you know, the irony of Ted Kennedy is that he has been billed in this country as kind of the leading liberal, the evil liberal, and kind of almost a caricature. The truth is that he was probably better at bringing about compromise and negotiation than any other senator. And if you ask the Republican senators what senator they wanted to work with in finding common ground and getting legislation done, the vast majority of them would say that Ted Kennedy was their favorite. So I was surprised when I went to the Senate and I realized that why he may have some positions on issues I disagreed with, what he was really remarkable at doing was finding that compromise, driving that negotiation. And time again in his career, he's done it. That's why the Republicans have so much respect for him, and that's why he'll be missed. Because at the end of the day, we only pass things after we compromise and negotiate.
And does his loss kind of push forward this health care in a way that it might have not without kind of that moral push behind it?
I hope so, but I don't know. You know, the Senate, you know, our founding fathers designed this Congress to make the House more efficient and quickly, and they designed the Senate for everything to go there and die as it relates to legislation. And so I think that it will be hard for us to get it done just because of Ted Kennedy, but I can assure you that if we get it done, it will be called the Kennedy Health Bill.
In this particular case, this House bill seems to be one causing all the problems. Why not more focus on the Senate version? It seems as though the Senate version is a little more worded a little bit better, 600 fewer pages or so. Why hasn't there been more focus on the Senate version?
Well, I think what happened, honestly, is that the president didn't want to put a plan out there because he knew it'd be a piñata. So he wanted the health care legislation to grow organically in Congress. And when he did that, then it allowed that vacuum to be filled with misinformation. And the House bill was the first bill out. So the opponents of health care reform began trying to dissect that bill and got a lot of misinformation out there. And that's what the internet kind of focused on, and it was the talking points on Fox and so forth, you know, that this was all the stuff in this bill. And then everyone kind of forgot that, first of all, it was one bill out of 5, and we are a long way from any bill that anybody's going to vote on, and they completely ignored the fact that, and I mean, I've had people like angry at me, well, have you read the bill? And I said, well, no, I won't vote on that bill. I'll vote on the Senate bill. I'm going to read the Senate bill. So I just think it was people not realizing that we were early in the process and that was just one proposal out of many proposals that we're going to be looking at.
Is this a problem between Democrats? I mean, we see Nancy Pelosi on the left, we see others on the left saying, no public option, we're not going to vote for this thing. And you have people on the right, you have Byron Dorgan saying, no, we're not going to have that. So where do the Republicans fit into this? It seems as though they're on the outside looking in, and it's you guys who are going to have to make the decisions.
Well, I think you're correct. And first of all, as I talked about in there, the Republicans have been very involved in drafting this legislation. They just don't want to claim it after they draft it. But I think that you're right in that people forget that, especially in the Senate, that moderate Republicans got replaced by moderate Democrats. It wasn't as if there was a really conservative Republican replaced by a really liberal Democrat, or, you know, that doesn't happen. These are all states where there's a lot of moderates, and so their policies are not that different. You look at Ben Nelson, and you look at Blanche Lincoln, and you look at Evan Bayh. These are moderate, Claire McCaskill, these are moderate Democrats. So that's what makes it hard, is you have, it used to be harder in the Republican Party. It's not hard in the Republican Party anymore. I think they have 2 moderates left, and the only ones left out there are really, really conservative. So that's why they're not fighting among themselves as much anymore, because the moderate Republicans have all been defeated.